up, everyone? It's your girl Gelbeauty-QM here, aka Grace, and it's time for another fragrance series. So I decided to pick up the Oakcha candy collection, and they had a few scents in here that I felt like would go good with fragrances I already own. So I decided we would do like 2 or 3 or 4 days worth of fragrance reviews on this little collection with fragrances I already have that are similar to this, to see how they fare against those. So we're starting off today strong. Y'all know I love a good sniff moment, and I recently got the Snif Swede tooth in PR, so I figured we would go ahead and compare it to watermelon jam in here. Now, if you all remember when I did the live for the Snif Swede tooth, I went ahead and tried this out alongside and just gave you my initial thoughts. I didn't give you a wear test of how long it wore throughout the day or anything like that. So we're going to do that in today's video. So if you like videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. I do fragrance series pretty regularly nowadays, and y'all know I love a good fragrance. If you like a good eyeshadow video, I do tons of eyeshadow content as well. I do even more eyeshadow content in my members only section, so you can check that out down below if you're interested. Every week I do a live with them, and then they tell me which eyeshadow palettes they think we should use for the week as far as the series goes. Like this week we're doing Blend Bunny. Next week we're supposed to be doing Nomad, and I think the week after that we're doing Adept, and then I pulled some more palettes to do lives with them on in the future. So if you like a lot of eyeshadow content, definitely check out the membership down below. I also do exclusive content like members only vlogs. They get their own set of fashion shorts. They get to go with me behind the scenes to certain events. Like I went to a YouTube event for the first time this year in Chicago that they had. I went to go see The Weeknd this year. They went to the concert with me, and I went to a couple of Snif events, and I took them along for the ride with me. So if you like exclusive content like that, in addition to what goes on my channel, make sure you check that out down below too. But I do have other eyeshadow content in store for you all, my followers. So I will be doing a series of why you don't need videos requested by you all in my community tab. So we're going to do the Bonfire palette from Glamonatrix Cosmetics. We're going to do the Smothered palette from Cosmic Beauty. We're going to do the newest Bella Beaute bar palette that somebody requested me to do, and the newest Adept palette. So stay tuned for that. And the Dede Signature video should have already gone up by now. Those other ones might have gone up by now as well. I'm not sure when I'm going to actually let this video go live, but if you like that sort of content, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. Finally, you all know the fashion has moved to fashion with Gelbeauty-87. So if you like my fashion shorts and wondered where they went over to my fashion channel. It's Fashion with Gelbeauty-87 over there. You can also check out a new long form fashion video every Friday on that channel. And there are fun little polls for you to go check out and subscribe to, so then that way you can tell me what you'd like to see, and then I cater content based upon that on the fashion channel. So just an idea. If you're interested, make sure you head on over there to check out that. Now let's get into today's video. So I'm going to put the Snif over on this side, and then I'll put the Oakcha over on this side. So if you all remember, I was not necessarily crazy about the Snif one, but that's only because I don't really like the smell of watermelon. And this gives very fresh, ripe watermelon. Even though it has other notes in it, I feel like the watermelon kind of overpowers everything else. So it's not necessarily my 100%. So this is one I definitely mix with other things. But for the sake of this video, obviously I'm not going to mix it because we want to see what each watermelon smells like and how it wears throughout the day. So I should have sprayed it lower, because spraying it so high, then like, you know, it's right next to my head, and that's closer to my nose where I don't like the smell. So I did not plan this well at all. I did not. Anyway, that's not the point. We're here, so let's focus. So I'm gonna let that one dry down while we put on watermelon jam. So they come in these cute little containers like this, and this whole little set was like 13 bucks, which I thought was a steal, because you saw how many were in there. Or did I show you? This is how many is in there. So you get 6 for 13 bucks, which I think is pretty good to give you an idea of if you like a certain fragrance or not, and then you can go buy the bigger one. So we're going to do watermelon today. I'm going to do peach ring tomorrow. And then I have Sugar Rush, and I think it's called Choco Break. So I'm trying to figure out which one I want to put Choco Break against. I already know I'm going to put the body mist called Pink Sugar from that brand that you can buy at Ulta and Walmart and TJ Maxx in the little juice container. I'm going to put that one against Sugar Rush, I'm quite sure. Unless it smells more similar to Love Shack Fancy's pink, sorry, Sugar Rush, then I'll put it against their Sugar Rush. I haven't actually smelled it yet, so I'm not 100% sure. I've tried to do those two on camera with you all since I already did the other two that I filmed first in the live. But yeah, so she's definitely giving very ripe watermelon, like I said, so that has not changed. But once it dries down, I can tolerate it a whole lot better. So that's why I usually just mix it with something to begin with, because I don't want to have to try to, you know, smell the watermelon until it calms down a bit and brings out the other elements of the fragrance. But let's try this one. So this one gives more of like a candy watermelon. So think of like a watermelon Jolly Rancher. That's what watermelon jam gives. It gives the smell of watermelon Jolly Rancher, or like those Sour Patch watermelon candies. That's what this one gives. It gives more of like a sweet candy version of a fragrance, which I mean, I'm assuming that's why it's called the Candy Collection. I feel like they wanted this to be more candy, but I don't know. To me, this just gives more fresh watermelon. But you have to keep in mind, everybody's body chemistry is different. So whatever I said you could pair with Sweet Tooth, obviously you can pair with this one, watermelon jam. I have to go off camera and get a couple of eye looks done before I have to go to my meeting at 3 o'clock. So I will check in with you all later on tonight. Okay, girl? Okay, y'all, so I'm back. It's the end of the night. Let's get into these fragrances. So remember, we have Snif's Sweet Tooth over here. Use code GRACE10 at checkout. And then we have Watermelon Jam from Oakcha over here. I have a link down below for Oakcha if you're interested in trying out this set as a whole, since we're doing a whole series on the candy collection that they have. But back to what we're talking about. So you all know how I feel about this one already. So let's see how it wore throughout the day. So it has calmed down quite a bit, which I definitely appreciate, because I'm not a really huge person about watermelon. I think I've already said that enough. If you saw my video on just this fragrance alone, I said that. But it has calmed down quite a bit throughout the day. But I told you all that was going to happen since I had already reviewed this fragrance. So it has calmed down. It's nice. It usually their fragrances usually last on me around 6 hours, and we're at the 8-hour mark now. So it has calmed down quite a bit, and I can hardly smell it. I have to do like this the way I normally have to with fragrances toward the end of the night. So that's just something to keep in mind. Let's check on Watermelon Jam. I feel like I smell it a little bit more, but in all fairness, I had to just put it on in a random amount. I didn't have like a sprayer to automatically spray it, which is fine. If I had to pick between these two, I think I've already said it, but I'd say it again. I would pick the Watermelon Jam just because I prefer the candy-like watermelon scent to it as opposed to the true watermelon scent to it. However, when it comes to pairing things with it, I feel like I would like the Sweet Tooth better just because it has that natural watermelon scent to it. And then with having that natural watermelon scent, when it dries down, I can have more of a fruity scent going on with the fragrance. So I really enjoy that whole aspect of it, if that made sense. It's late in the day and I'm kind of just like ready to go to sleep now. But yeah, so I do prefer this one for when I'm layering and mixing with things. But I feel like if I was going to wear watermelon fragrance, I feel like I would wear Watermelon Jam on its own. And it gives more of that like candy-ish watermelon, where it's giving the true ripe watermelon. So it all depends on what type of watermelon you like I've said before, which one you would prefer. But when it comes to me, just wearing a fragrance alone, I would prefer to wear Watermelon Jam on its own. Whereas wearing a scent to layer with, that's when I would pick Sweet Tooth, because I like layering my fragrances, and this is when I would definitely have to layer. I couldn't wear it on its own because it just gives off too much watermelon. But that's just my preference. You all can comment down below and let me know, based upon the notes that popped up and what we talked about early on in the video, which one you prefer. If you're curious what's going on with my eyes, by the way, this is the members only exclusive content. I've been doing a series with them called Liquid and Powder Shadow Party. So basically on Sundays I do a live with them. They pick through the palettes that I have set up and the liquid eyeshadows, and then we swatch and go over color stories, and they decide what eye looks they want, decide what I'm gonna use. But so if you're interested, check the link down below. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Remember, you all are diamonds. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be blessed, girl. Bye.